is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Alex Diaz says, Big O, a buddy of mine who's a diehard Heat fan, thinks that they have a shot to win. He's heard some of your takes and doesn't agree with you, which is moronic, still thinks they're going to win. Well, Alex, look, dude, he's a fan, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think he might be a little delusional. I think. Look, let me explain about the Heat, and I'm glad you asked because I was going to talk about it anyway. But they lost to the Suns on Saturday, 119-112. I think I mentioned this many, many times over. Remember, they started 24-8, Bill, right? Well, what did we tell you? They were a 500 team after that at 17-16. Tell your friend that's so convinced that they can win it all, they're 2-3 in the restart. And look, I know they didn't have Butler and Dragon yesterday, and Kendrick Nunn hasn't been playing efficiently anyway. He doesn't really shoot well. He hasn't shot well throughout this whole restart anyway. But my point is, you win games against Milwaukee and others and the Rockets without Jimmy Butler, and you know it was your young guys against their young guys, and Phoenix ended up winning. And I know Phoenix's back is against the wall and all of that, and now they've got the Indy game tonight, and we'll see what ends up happening at 8 o'clock tonight because Butler's going to play, Dragon's going to play. Nunn is back with the team, but he has to be in quarantine right now. And once he's through quarantine, then he can rejoin the team, but it won't be for tonight's game. But Saturday, the Suns have been playing well, and the Heat have been up and down. And this Jimmy thing, I've talked about it throughout the year. It's hard for him to stay healthy. That body of his has a lot of miles on it. I don't know if he should be, doing that extra work in his room and bouncing the ball all over the place. He's a guy that needs to really rest his body because he has worn out his body. When you see him have to miss these games now, it's like, well, why are you doing all that extra work? You need to kind of, take care of your body. And the Heat are not consistent enough defensively. I don't know how anybody could think that they could win at all. I think they could win a round. That's about it. I don't think they're much more than that. And what's going to end up happening, Alex, is Miami will not reach your friend's expectations. And mark my words, he will then get mad at the Heat and blame the Heat because he had unrealistic expectations. So I respect that he wants, that he disagrees with me, but he's a fan. He's not thinking objectively. You know what I mean? Some of us can't think objectively. We're fans. So we're thinking with our hearts. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys that are, and women that cover, well, now you don't hear from women. They're more level-headed. But most of the guys that cover college football and they're tied to a team or whatever, they're trying to make excuses and hemming and hawing about, well, no, this could happen and they could do this and they can, like the guy that was on with, they could still have a season. I'm like, no, they can't, dude. They can't have a season. You can't put kids at risk. And then they're going to sue your ass. And that's what these schools know. That's what they're terrified about. A coach is going to, you understand that if college football goes on, a coach or two is going to die. You do know that, right? I guarantee you a coach is going to die if you play the college football season. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know what head coach, what assistant head coach, what defensive coordinator, what offensive coordinator, what tight ends coach, what strengths coach. A coach will die. Now, to people like, what was the idiot's name, Alonzo or whatever that I just blocked?
That would be correct, sir.
All right, that moron, well, he's just an old guy. It's just another old guy. Now, that coach could have been coaching for another 5 or 10 years, could have been around for a lot of kids to help out, and family that loved him. And the corona then killed him. Why? Because we had to have football. And it's not going to be just one. You're going to cause all kinds of other problems for other coaches and administrators and trainers and everything else. Come on, man. People are not responsible in our world. If we were responsible, then that would be fantastic. So, I can't see the Heat, to go back to your point, winning a championship or getting deep when this is a team that can't be consistent at all. And that's a problem for them. That's why I kept saying, when people kept saying, well, the Heat's the team that people, they want to fear and they're going to be in great shape and their defense is great. I'm like, what Heat team are you talking about? These are babies. They're learning how to win right now. Do you understand what stage they're in? And it's not like Jimmy is a superstar that can then say, well, kids, you're not doing well. Get on my back. I'll carry you. That's not Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's not a superstar. He's a lower-level all-star. He's a guy that can be steady. He's been a superstar for Miami because of the way he has carried himself, the way he's helped develop guys, the way he motivates them. He keeps them focused. All that stuff is priceless that Jimmy's doing. But Jimmy cannot carry a team. In other words, he can't do what Devin Booker can do. Okay? He can't do what actually, I'm forgetting the kid's name now from Indiana, that him and Jimmy got into it, and he's been shooting lights out now lately. Damn it, he's always been a hell of a shooter. His problem is more about health. He never stays healthy, and now I'm brain farting.
Is it Jackson?
No, it's not Jackson. No, it's not Jackson. But damn it, I'm forgetting his damn name now. But
he let the kid get under his skin.
T.J. Warren. So T.J. Warren has been shooting lights out. Jimmy can't shoot like that. That's not in his game. So that's where I'm telling you that this is a team that I love. This Heat team. I love what they have been awesome this year. They have accomplished a ton this year. A bunch of guys have grown. I just think that I've watched too many teams in years past, even with great players, get their asses kicked, like Michael Jordan. There's a rite of passage that you've got to learn how to win in the playoffs. And right now, Bam and all these guys, this is their first step in learning how to win. Okay?
Watch a couple dribbles, passes it to Bam. Bam gets it, and he doesn't do nothing with it for 5 or 6 seconds. Then he goes to the basket, and he missed. And you could see a go-to.
There's no Dwayne Wade. There's no Timmy Hardaway. There's no alpha dog that can say, hey, guys, all right, we need a bucket. I'm going to take over. Okay? We're struggling. You know how the number one ace on the team in baseball, you're struggling. Pitcher 3, 4, and 5, they get smoked. And you're like, man, we got a 3. Oh, all right, we got our ace coming up. And then that guy stops the bleeding. He comes out with a one-hitter. You win 3-0. Kind of changes your momentum because you count on that one guy. Miami doesn't have that number one guy. So that's why I would tell you, Alex, that it's nice that your friend is a fan, but he's being a fan. He's not being realistic and looking at things objectively. And that's usually what happens.